Maybe in the last minute of your life, you want to be something more than a goddamn savage!
We're not as hollow doctors. Annunziare mendaccio. Prego sum homo indomitus.
Fearless rats, insanity. He watches the game fantasy. Real one, forbidden sight. He searches under of the shadows and
You like this? Oh, you like being food for the immortal?
Your oracle of whiskey mysticism, revolution is my goddamn name. Coming at you with the most savage intro ever fucking witnessed by humanity. Joining me is the notorious, the unauthorized version of author Stephen Walton. How you doing, sir?
Is it working? Oh, it's working. Hey, hail the motherfucking chat. What's going on? It is me. It is I. It is he. It is the dude whose pee you don't want to see. Streaming down upon thee as I rise up. It is the Fundamentals historian, author Stephen Walton. And wash your hands, wash your ass, clean your dicks and your balls and all that shit.
There you go.
How you doing today, Immortal? Immortal Coil. How you doing?
Man, you promised me you wouldn't go to dicks and balls like within the first 5
That's in
minutes
the
or so.
intro, Coil. That's in the intro. That's not the show.
That's the preamble. Okay. That was the preamble to the Constitution of the United States of we don't give a fuck.
I do have a dick question, but that's later.
That's for later. So this channel will contain strong language, sensitive subject matter, images, content intended for a mature 18 years or older audience, viewers, scribes. The video contains copywritten content, however, under section 504C titled 504C2 Title 17 of the United States Code. We have to cite the code. This content is presented for the purposes of education and entertainment through the use of parody, satire, critique, analysis, and or social commentary by means of subjective motherfucking opinion. So prepare for some fuck words and for some sideways point of view. Go ahead.
Are we educational? Is that what we're pushing ourselves as educational?
That's Snowdub's show. He's the Muppet.
So you guys, wait, we actually pulled it off. I've been gone for a week. I was on vacation. We're pulling gender check off? Like this is happening?
You know, I think we're the herald of Galactus right here. I think it's going to fucking go down tomorrow morning.
Galactus as in Lizzo?
Yeah, you know, she's a beached whale in Star Wars now.
Oh, fuck. What time is it Eastern? Hold on. Damn it. I never looked at Trans Fat Chat, so I don't know.
It's 9:30 Pacific. 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, so add 3 hours to that.
Oh, it's only like 12:30. Okay.
You need to get the fuck in the DM and you know,
I do.
He was like, listen, if Walton and fucking Angus want to do it, because it was just basically me and Rook and him just kind of going like, yeah, so how do you want to fucking plan the show?
Yeah, I've been shaking my weenus at this show for fucking ever. So yeah, I'm down. I'm definitely in there. Of course I'm in there.
Yeah, and it promises to be, so we're assembling some high caliber talent of magnitude, you guys.
High class too.
Yeah, if you're listening to this like in the future, which I assume you are, because who the fuck is up right now? Listen, we got the bases rounded. We got like figures from the beginning, born and fucking fed in the chat, right?
Born, forged, fucked, pig roasted, talk shit about, excommunicated, broke up, got back together, don't give any fucks left group of motherfuckers who have been around since this gangster shit took off back in 2018.
We got the mileage on our cocks. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. All right.
That's the left and the right of it. You know, now.
Oh my God! So it's gonna be me, you rookie, on Snowdub's hosting.
Snowdub's hosting. Black Angus is gonna be there.
Hold my fucking! Oh, I got to be there. Angus is there. I mean,
yeah. I mean, so we got no topics. We're just gonna fucking bullshit and you know show the hair.
We're fatties. We don't need topics. We'll create topics. We
are the topic.
We are the topic. Our presence together will be the topic. How the fuck did y'all guys make up? Well, Walton apologized.
There we go. Yeah. People figured out who the fuck is up with what. No, it's good though.
Walton climbed out of a Sarlacc pit, and when he got out the Sarlacc pit, I wasn't prepared like Deej. Apparently, Deej has like a plan if he ever fucking encounters a haunted vagina, and it involves boards and a rope. I'm not exactly sure how he's going to keep himself from falling into that haunted vagina, but he has a plan, and it kind of scares me that somebody has a plan, you know. But
they've put forethought into it as if they were actively searching out a fucking.
This is a man that has appeared in Teddy's on. It claims to be straight. All right, I'm called gay. This dude has appeared in Teddy's, and he is openly a furry.
There's just some looks that aren't that good, man. And I'm not begrudging my furry lovers. I'm just saying, like, if you're
I'm pissed on my furries.
Yeah.
No, piss on the furries in Mortal Kombat. Savage spirituality. Savage spirituality. Right?
We're just gonna go ahead and say like we're on the fuck the furry side of the fence.
Yes, and I don't know why, but Zombie Box Reviews said that when I get angry, I sound like a gay black man. I don't understand what that means. That's what he said.
That's highly descriptive.
It is. Like, how many do you know? I don't understand. Oh, God, cool.
Well, we want to say hail to the chat right off. We got our fucking soldier RR here every week. You know.
Thank God, RR, you put up with our shit. Thank God.
Well, he's one of those guys. I would say Zombie Box is one of those guys, but I think he lives in a weird time zone, so he doesn't like show up as much as he used to.
Who was that? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Zombie, Decepticon King. Yeah. We know people by multiple names. It's like how you should know Papa Cotton as Wook if you're fucking been around enough, but if you don't, then you don't. He's just the guy in the chat, you know, posting rude fucking memes. But anyway, so yes, the big thing going down tomorrow morning, gender check for the first time in 3 years, maybe.
The boys are back in town.
I'll tell you what, man. Like I had this eclectic kind of channel where like I've done a lot of things, and one of my biggest hits, if you want to call it that, on YouTube, I did a thing about illustrating a Dana Carvey bit where John Lennon talks to Paul McCartney from heaven. It was great. But the other biggest one is Gender Check episode 2. Like, it has hundreds of views, and I don't fucking get it.
Because we're a group of because we are a group of unyielding assholes.
We are.
And that was our strength for the longest time. And you know, dude, I don't even know what got in the way. Like, other people got in the way of like some real fucking friendships.
Honestly, that's the biggest descriptor right there, is that if we would have forged in the fire, like all that kind of shit we were talking about, if we would have just like trusted in our brain trust right there and had confidence in the assembled talent, then we would have taken over the world, which I think we're going to get the chance to do it again. But it has to happen organically.
Not only are we going to do it again, but we are going to make Snowdub shake his head plenty of times behind that mic going, why did I let this happen? I don't understand what's going on.
Why did I unleash this onto the
What
universe?
the fuck? Oh God, I let Walton back on my channel. Oh, I just lost fucking 8 different connections out there. All of a sudden,
credibility.
Six different lunch tables hate me because I'm, endorsing the evil that is Walton. No, no.
Well,
Oh,
and,
it's gonna be fucking
that's
great.
the thing too, is like I would say like none of my friends get along and mean it, because I kept up with like multiple lunch tables.
You
but-
bastard. How dare you keep an open mind and be friends with different people? Do you understand what you're doing? Okay, that's not how we run things
I
around
know.
here. You've got to be angry and sulking.
You gotta
You got to be pissy and mad at other people's success. You've got to stay
but here I
tribal,
am.
because if you don't stay
Fucking-
tribal, you get pushed out of the popular kids.
Well, that's true. I still have less than 500 subs like total, but I think that's more a YouTube thing than a cafeteria table thing. But being Ambassador Sarek has its benefits, and I'm able to walk freely amongst many different tribes because I've proven myself to be true, and that's the thing. And not that I haven't fucked up. Listen, I've done my own fair share of things, but it's one of those things. If you're willing to like square up and look somebody in the eye and be like, at some point, I'm sorry, I was wrong, then you'd be surprised how many people are willing to invest in redemption. And I think that that's the name of the fucking scene,
I think that we, as far as our crew goes, we are all misfits in our own way.
Oh yeah.
And that was always our strength. I said about this like a couple weeks ago. We've lost one or two, and one of them's going to come back.
We've actually like promoted a couple of people too. Let's not forget that.
We have. You guys,
there are some people who went on to the big fucking show who had their start in trans fat.
Yes, sir. And
yeah.
There's I wouldn't even have a channel. I wouldn't even be a YouTuber if it wasn't for trans fat.
Yeah.
That was that one. The all telling Lethal Lightning to reach out and do that interview.
He's one of those ones too. And I had to say this. You guys are like as vicious as you are. You're some of the most caring brothers I've ever known, and I haven't even like met you guys like face to face, except for Rook. Rook's the only guy in that fucking crew that's like local.
I have to ask you, what was it like? What was it like hugging Rookie Critic? Was it soft? Was it like was there man energy there, or was it like hugging a well-oiled altar boy? Like, what was the feeling?
Funny. So, my immediate reaction is, upon releasing him, I expected him to go, But the Rookie Critic is as masculine as they come. He just appears to be. He's like Little John. He's like this doughy dude that you would not think of as a fighter, but then you challenge him with a quarterstaff, and suddenly you're living in the river. He is.
I'm curious. I want to hug all of you at some point. You want to
give him a hug? Yeah.
All of you. I want to hug all of you and say like man hug. If it's like one of those handshake half hugs, so however it is that you hug, I want to feel an embrace. And I think, what, the only one that kind of scares me is Angus. Like, am I going to get poked? I don't know if like there's going to be a pokage.
He's going to have a little chub.
I don't know. When I go to hug him, I might wear lip gloss. Like just a little bit, just to throw it out.
Tell you to, yeah. Well, and so the thing that I think about is I wonder about your guys' like differences in physical height. So
I'm the shortest.
I'm about 5'10". So like I think you would probably come up to like my chin or something if we met in real life.
I'm like 5'6", yeah.
Okay. So and that's not a huge big deal, but it's like it's different when you're staring at everybody's avatars versus when you're, and for some reason I thought like Drew was gonna get married and we would all meet up, but like none of that shit happened. So I don't have
Drew met a succubus. He found his own Sarlacc pit. And he fell into that. He dove right in. Drew was like, I need some Sarlacc pussy. And I cannot point the finger and go, bad Drew, because I did the same shit a year before. Well, I would also like to say, Coil, that the universe has been fucking with me because I have numbers that are blocked from people that I don't talk to anymore.
Yeah.
from that Sarlacc time,
Ah,
and Snapchat keeps throwing them up in my face over and over again over the last week.
Yeah.
Like, hey, are you getting triggered by this name? Are you triggered by this name? Are you triggered by this? I'm like, no, I'm not triggered at all. Can you please, like, I am good. And let me tell you how good I am, Coyle. I am so fucking good that I went out to Central PA this very fucking week, this last week, and fucked the chick who showed up to my motel room in a fucking unicorn onesie. And
Was
I
that
am
the-
not triggered.
Was that the card reader? Do you know
She's
who I'm
not
talking
a
about?
no. She's no. She's not
No.
a card reader.
Okay,
Actually,
okay.
no.
No, it's
She.
a different person. All right, that's
You know
okay.
what's
That's
weird, dude?
We don't gotta fucking talk about that.
No, we can talk. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm totally cool with it now. Like, I'm not manifesting. I'm not triggered by. I don't make Dragonstorm content at the moment because I just don't care. Like, I'm healed. I'm good. None of that triggers me anymore. Honestly.
Cool. Are you ready
yeah,
to
dude.
finally focus on the other thing we were talking about?
Yes, I'm
You-
focusing
you
on
have a
all
new-
the other things.
You have a new fucking channel, a chance to grow. Like this is okay. We're talking to a guy who manifested like 7,000 subscribers over the course of a year without even really like trying to do it. But I'm asking
Yeah.
you if you're ready to put your fucking nuts behind your words and like do the savage spiritual thing.
As soon as I have a fucking place, like right now, I'm working all these jobs, and
Okay.
it's hard for me to put. Like today, I had no time to set up the Rogue stream, and we wouldn't even have had one if DJ Odyssey wasn't like, "We'll figure it out, Walton. Get the fuck up here. Let's do this." You know. So I was like, all right, and I had a great show. Had Hoffcast on as a guest. Guys, go
Right
send
on.
Hoff. Yeah, man, cool cat. And and then for like 45 minutes, it was nothing but Walton's gay jokes. I was like, motherfuckers.
Well,
You know.
you are a little bit gay, aren't you?
No, I'm not. I'm fucking straight. I am heterosexual.
I had sex with an actual vagina this week.
I did, and it was a fucking great vagina. Okay, oh yeah, so going back. So the universe. Matter of fact, we can get into some spirituality right now, and I'll use this
There
as
we
an
go.
example. So when you go through an intense experience, doesn't necessarily have to be traumatic, right? But it's an intense experience. You will manifest things in relation to that experience, whether you realize it or not, because manifestation
to
is
test your conviction about the certainty that you have or have not proclaimed to the universe.
your conviction you may not necessarily know that you're doing it, right? It's like attracts like. The vibration that
Correct.
you set yourself at, the thought waves that you create in your mind will attract like energy. And so for the longest time, like, and I didn't kind of realize this until I stopped doing Dragonstorm, because I was doing it on a certain topic, I was attracting. I don't know how the other dude. First off,
No, you're
narc
totally
abuse,
correct. I
narc
get you.
abuse channels, narc abuse channel, dude. There are fucking tons of them out there. Lots and lots and lots. There's psychotherapists, psychologists, life coaches, and I was kind of going in the direction of being and doing that at one point. And then maybe I'll return to that. But right now, like, I just stopped doing it because I felt healed, and I stopped manifesting certain things into my life because I wasn't talking, even if I wasn't talking about her or that experience, I was still
your psychology
resonating.
was over the fucking trauma of what you experienced, but
Right.
the experience remained within your soul. Yeah.
Right.
I get
So
it.
now, so I stopped. And when I stopped. Now the universe still tests you, right? And that's because depending on with my situation, I'm dealing with people who hoover and like stalk and like blame you for everything. So like, okay, when you're dealing with toxic people like that, they're always going to be on your mind.
Well,
in
and
some
like
way,
you're saying,
you know?
you actively courted that kind of shit for a long fucking time. So
Oh, absolutely. I was fighting. Well, I was fighting for
still
my
was
reputation.
attracted to the process, and you had to express the I don't know, the healed side of yourself in order to dismiss it. Does that?
Yeah. I mean, something like that. But the universe is still testing. Like, and that's why I told you, like, these names keep popping up on my fucking Snapchat, and like, hey, you might know this person, or hey, like, yes, I do, and I don't want to talk to them ever
and they're
again. Thank you very
pieces of
much.
Shit. So
Yeah,
no
I
thanks.
was whatever. I made peace.
Yeah.
Coil. The last message that I sent was a peaceful one. I don't care where it goes from there. It's not on me, but it was part of the forgiveness and letting go aspect of going through it.
Sure enough.
But anyway, so what I realized is that while I was trying to date chicks, I was actually resonating women that were like that experience, like that person. And
Mm.
I was like getting upset. Like I started getting upset. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, is this my lot in life? Like, is this? But then I stopped really doing the content, stopped doing it so much, and then I brought in this other person into my life that I talked to last week, dude. And let me tell you this: eerily similar to the ex, eerily similar.
Huh.
Basically, the same behaviors and personality type during her early years, but the difference in this one, I think, was I had a chance to talk to somebody who had gone through an experience with a narcissist themselves, because she wasn't loyal. I'm not saying, I don't think she was a liar. She just didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? But like, she got with these boyfriends, like the nice guy boyfriends who would just stay with her, even though she would cheat, and they didn't, like, mercilessly didn't give a fuck. And then
They didn't have any boundaries themselves.
they didn't have any boundaries. Right. They were like, I used to be. And so then she got with a double dose of grandiose narcissism from these two different guys. And then she herself became the loyal one who wanted the relationship, who was getting cheated on mercilessly and triangulated and lied to and all this stuff. And then she came out of the other end. See, we started talking like a year ago when I started doing this content, but she was so unhealed. It was just like, I recognized it. I was like, all right, I'm going to put you on the shelf, because there was a time when I tried talking to other victims of narcissistic abuse, but I couldn't do it because I was still hurt. Like, I can't give you advice. I'm still trying to figure my shit out,
Sure.
And she was one of them. And then we didn't talk for a long time. And then we just hooked up. We started talking like a month and a half ago. First thing this chick said was, "Oh yeah, by the way, I'm not like I was before. Sorry about that." I'm like, okay, cool. Well, I'm not like I was before either. Let's talk. And we met up, and the sexual healing, the sacral chakra energy with this chick was on point, dude. On point.
Huh?
I'm talking about full on Walton boner, bro. Fucking full on, fucking like I'm 30 years old, bro. I felt great time. And that means a lot after you go through a period of emasculation and devaluation.
True.
And
she showed up with the kind of feminine energy that you needed at that point.
She showed up with a feminine energy that was like, and this is going to sound like, I know, guys, no red flags. I don't know how to. I got to be honest. There's no really other way to explain it. She showed up with a sexual energy that was just like the ex, with with a history up until about 10 years ago that was just like that.
So you were able to like wash your hands of it and be like, okay,
it was like a closure. Yeah. It was like a weird closure, right?
There you go.
Because I'm talking to a person, because she was admitting her faults. So, we had conversations, like how she was, and then she went through these experiences, and then she learned how shitty it felt to be that way to men, because she was put through a prolonged experience of being like that. And now she's in this trying to find herself area, was like, applying these new experiences. And,
it's weird to me, like the mass program of society the past like 10 years at least has been for women to become more masculine, for men to become more feminine. And when we both realized that's not our, it's not supposed to be who we are. Like shit goes weird and shit gets sideways. And then you got like these old cat ladies and these guys who don't fucking give a shit about, Instagram whores.
Dude, I swear to you, I fucking swear to you, bro. I wish I could send you this screenshot of a new friend suggestion. With someone's first and last name that you would recognize out of nowhere, because I started talking about it. I kid you not.
Your smartphone's smarter than you think it is.
It's resonating, right? So
it thinks that we're dumber than we actually are. I think that smart technology is being used to farm our minds, dude.
It could be that, but I strongly believe that it's like, because I'm talking about it. No, I'm dead serious. Like, because this has been happening to me for weeks. I don't think about that experience anymore. I only when it pops up, and I'm tested constantly by the universe. And that's kind of what that experience was with this other chick, because she would explain situations and the way that she operated that reminded me.
We got Keely Chow joining us. Hail,
what's up, Keely?
Chow. What's up,
Hail,
man?
brother.
Hail to the fucking chat.
Hail the fucking chat. Absolutely. Hail the chat. Hail War Campaign. Hail the chat. So I'm out there, and I am, but she's telling me experiences and stuff that like mirror, like, okay. And it's Coil, it's the strangest damn thing, right? Because I'm not in love and there's no history. And
Okay.
I'm there for a certain function, which I went with the flow of the universe, brother. So when she was
You're trying to
explaining,
flow.
yeah, when she was explaining these, things that she did, it was literally the same type of behaviors that X would do, but I'm able to see it without any filter, any distortion, any pain, all that shit. And yes, RR, bro, blue fucking steel, bro, mahogany, pure fucking mahogany. Okay, you have no
There you go.
idea how good that felt. You have no idea
There
how
you go.
good that felt. Oh, and then to have a chick, oh, dude, and then the next day, I can't remember the last time this happened. This chick fucking gets a hold of me, like, because she went and fed her dog and had to do some things during the day, and then she sends me a random text, and she's like, "I just want to let you know." I was like, "Your dick is awesome." Like she
Wow.
complimented my dick game. And as a
Did
guy,
she like reach out and like pet him as she said so?
dude, she pet him plenty. There was plenty
That's awesome.
plenty of petting going on.
There we go.
All right.
There we go.
But it's just so I mean, I don't want to talk about this all night, but it was the experience for me was getting closure, like being able to understand the thought processes and maybe some of the hows and whys as to why things happen with this one personality from my past without being hurt or triggered by it. It was just kind of like, wow, okay, that's the thought process behind this action, this selfish action, or this, and then seeing a person who went through a similar life track and then is trying to heal themselves. And then here I am, the typical nice guy, the prey to such type women who has changed. And she even was talking about, like, toward the end on the last day, she's like, I don't even believe I'm saying this, but you remind me of one of the first guys that I ever dated. I think that's why I started talking to you. So there was stuff, definitely like karmatic lessons going on.
So do you think it was like mutually fucking cathartic
Oh, yeah.
for both of you guys?
Oh God, yeah, dude. It was the universe bringing shit together, man. It was about healing and understanding and maybe closure, at least for me, closure to some degree. And understand, because if I had tried to talk to this chick, let's just say I happened to resonate her 6 months ago in the form that she was in, and she started telling stories like she was, I probably would have been triggered because it would have brought back up the memories of betrayal, the memories of bullshit from the past. Not this time. I was able to just like weave around it like a water around rock. It was fucking amazing. And I got laid.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
And you got laid.
And
I got to have sex.
the pussy was phenomenal. All right. It was, she's not a coal burner. It was all
She was
propane, buddy.
We're switching to our Sean Connery accent.
Oh yeah. So I heard you had an interesting week. So whose intergalactic wife did you bang? Are you doing okay?
Well, let's talk about that. Yeah. No, I'm doing good, man. So far, what I really want to say in answer to that is that the trans fattians, or is that the fucking common?
You can say
colloquialism?
however you want. You are a fatty.
Yeah,
you can say
I
the
can say
fatty
whatever the
fuckaronis.
fuck
I don't
want.
give a fuck.
Yeah. The hard potatoes, the the pepperonis,
The badass sacks.
Yeah, I have to say that you guys are some of the finest people that I've ever seen assembled, and that you guys, when called to the forks of the fire, you put up and you show up. I had some real bad shit go down, and several of you stepped up. I want to recognize author Stephen Walden. I want to recognize Jeff, the rookie critic. I want to recognize Lethal fucking Lightning, believe it or not. And I want to recognize Snowdub.
Hell.
You guys helped me out of a situation that I did not know how it was going to be. I don't know how personal I want to get. Like I went to a 7-Eleven and I used my EBT card to buy some food, and then there was a fucking pernicious program that stole my money, and somebody in fucking Florida used $200 of my fucking dollars to do what the fuck ever. And
holy shit.
Yeah, and I could not feed myself. I was contemplating thievery, dude, because I'm gonna eat. Trust me, I'm gonna eat.
Sometimes you gotta steal, Savage.
sometimes, and I have at points, but what I decided to do instead, like I just like inspirationally it came to me, and it shouldn't be like that fucking uh magnanimous, but like I I had this idea, okay, maybe just like put a fucking thing in the thread. And before I knew it, like my boys stood up next to me and they were like, we're not gonna let you fucking be hungry, dude. And I'm not going out and eating like, I'm not even buying Burger King, dude. I'm like eating at the dollar store, you know.
Yeah, I
There's
know
some
what that's
good
like.
shit to be had there. But the fact that somebody actually like gave a shit, and the fact that they were my brothers, and the fact that they were fatties, and the fact that like tomorrow the show's gonna go down, I'm just I was moved and motivated. And I can't tell you how strange it is to simultaneously have one of the best jobs in the industry, but be poor as fuck at the same time. I am outdoors 90% of the fucking time, and I don't bitch about it because a man has to do what a man has to do. And that's savage and that's spiritual. And if I can walk around and just, you know, random acts of kindness. Okay. There was a guy who was like lost on the fucking bus. Like he kind of knew where he was, but he didn't. So I stepped off the bus and I fucking walked into a street corner, that kind of thing. Things that you don't really realize you're doing, but you do it because you know the kind of person that you are. That's savage spirituality. Um, that's what life is about. And if you can't find it in yourself to be fucking human, then step the fuck off my planet. I don't know what else to say.
And Coil will at some point, if you are an intergalactic despot, fuck your wife or one of it's gonna happen.
That's true. So you're kind of wanting to talk about the strange, aren't you?
No. I was just bringing that up
Okay.
because I think it's fucking funny as shit.
Okay, I've been bred with by alien women. Yes, I've been used for breeding purposes. I am a fucking stud, and they judged my genetics and my
intergalactic stud.
There we go. And between like my soul spiritual signature and my fucking Johnson, they were like, okay, we want to make more of this guy, and we want to put them into women who don't originate from this fucking planet. I would say that I've been with at least a dozen extraterrestrial women since the first time was age 13. So technically, I probably lost my virginity to said ma'am.
You are the king of strange. I just want to say that.
Let's say that. I'll own to that. Anyway.
Coil, real quick, like going back to what you were talking about. I don't think the fatties would have come together without you.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so. Because I don't think so.
I want to credit it all to Black Angus and whatever fucking stick-to-itiveness we have. I want to say it was his like volition, like his fucking desire to overcome reality, and he was just like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna throw these guys together and see what the fuck happens. I know that they all don't get along, but here we go. Pow. And that was a powder kick, dude. Like we were talking about this the other day. I don't know if you got that thing that I sent you that I wrote, but we were talking about people like Mary Mayhem and Lethal Lightning, and I'll even say it, Drunk 3PO. Like people like those were all organized at some point by Black Angus Reviews, and Black Angus got shit upon, absolutely destroyed publicly, because he made enemies with the wrong person. But that is the skill of his fucking hand, dude.
There was a lot more. There was a lot more involved, but it wasn't just like making enemies with the wrong person. It was the fallout at that time. Oh God, I already went into this hard like 2 weeks ago. So I don't really.
And we can just give it a cursory.
All right. I'm gonna give it you know what? I'll give it a cursory like this because in Rogue Chat we were talking about this. A bunch of us were talking about how. Well, see, Gary was recently called like a racist or something by some tard.
I saw that.
Some bullshit, right? Gary is so not a fucking any of that. Gary's probably the most shining bright light.
I hold him in high esteem. Like Gary and fucking Jeff from World Class Bullshitters, I think they're probably the still like two big cafeteria table kids that are as about what they were back then as they are now. You know, haven't seen any faltering of character.
Two different tracks, actually, kind of like two different tracks where that's involved, and I'll. Okay. How do I do this cursory? Okay, so there was a fall. There were two big dicks. There were two big swinging dicks in the TFM gallery. Okay,
the big boards,
big fucking. One by the name of Jeremy and one by the name of Ethan. These two big dicks swinging around in the room.
I think I know what you're talking about. Go ahead.
Right. Jeremy went and said, "No, fuck you, Ethan, you fucking self-absorbed narcissistic troll piece of shit. I'm not going to do what you say." And Ethan took that as an injury because narcissists get these things called narcissistic injuries when you stand up to them and they can't stand it because everybody has to bow down to them. They rule the universe. And so there was this, well, they in their world, yes. In their little universe, oh yeah. They are the center. And so
gotcha.
When that happened, it created rifts, and it didn't create rifts. Okay, so you had Jeremy. Like, I don't have any inside baseball in this. I'm just like from the outside looking in. But Jeremy was probably just like, "Nah, fuck that dude. Fuck him. I'm gonna do my own fucking thing." Right. Whereas,
which he did.
Ethan is an infiltrator.
Geeks and Gamers is a respected brand. Like, I don't really like watch them anymore, but like he built his fucking empire, so I respect him as a man.
Yeah. He built it on finding people that were motivated and that could listen to some instruction, you know, and because he was learning,
but personality to bring too.
Right.
Ryan Kennel is a. Am I saying that right? Ryan Kennel? I don't know.
Yes, you're saying it right.
Yeah,
and if you're not,
he's a shining example of what I would describe. So Jeremy identified him. He brought his own fucking brand and his own presence, and on his own, he actually fucking made himself exuberant. So
yeah, he did. And I remember when he first came in. You know, it's but here nor there. And then you had that one big swinging dick, and then you had the other swinging dick, which is Ethan. And the way he approached the situation was as a narcissist would, which is to create division, gaslight, triangulate people against each other, create confusion, be a puppet master, lying to everybody and working over their insecurities. And that's so like when you look at like the split, I guess if you call it a split between people like Nerdrotic and World Class.
It divided the fucking High Council, and that was a major event in the evolution of TFM, if you want to call it that thing. Yeah.
Yes, and it was all because of a narcissist Fifi's got hurt, which is what fucking happened. And so Nerdrotic went the way with Geeks and Gamers and those guys, and you see the result. And then World Class, Jeff Hicks went the way with Ethan, and you see how that worked. You can literally see the difference in an adult handling a situation as an adult, albeit aggressive adult, and a narcissist handling a situation and where that leads. And that was like where it is. Like World Class right now, if it wasn't for the influence, I think, of EVS, I think World Class would be at 1 million subs. I think they'd be toe and toe with Gary, but because they allowed. They allied themselves, or they allowed themselves to be, run amok by a fucking narcissist, which is the same reason that fucking Black Angus got ostracized. Same culture, same behavior, same bullshit.
To me, that's a more interesting story to me, because Black Angus would have exploded had he not been stifled.
But absolutely. Oh, and no doubt. I think a lot of channels would have. And this is where it comes down to, like, okay, so you look at Comicsgate, and the ones that got some traction from that were the people who kissed the ring. They were the people who bent over and bowed down. War Campaign just this last week released a shit ton of DMs from 2 years ago, where Ethan Van Sciver is trashing John Delarose. Let's dox this before John's dad died. I'm not trying to attack that. It's a shame when anybody's father passes, but EVS is literally like, let's meme John's dad. Let's go after him. I love fucking with this pussy. Like, message after message. But John kept tonguing his ass. And so John made it a little bit. But let's say that John had gone his own way. He may have made it. He may not have made it. But he probably would have been more successful within himself than he was tonguing the ass of the frog. Because when you're dealing with that type of personality, that's an energy vampire who thrives on chaos and the destruction of others. And so, it's like that's the energy you're going to get. That's why Comicsgate is not as great as it should be. Comicsgate should have been so much greater than it is right now. And this is why you have a lot of content creators or comic book creators out there that don't call themselves CG. You know, they're like in that independent wheelhouse, but they're not CG. Because there's one of two ways you can go when you're dealing with a grandiose narcissist. You can either tongue their ass and ride the fucking wave and kiss their ass and agree with everything and do what they want you to do and live in their fiefdom, or you get destroyed, you get targeted, you get, you know, that person will try to annihilate you and use. I mean, and that's kind of happened to me. It happened to Angus. Happened to a lot of different people. The difference in energy there between those two, very simply, is you had a healthy, progressing environment, where you had people that were backing each other up, maybe for mutual benefit, but definitely with positive reinforcement in geeks and gamers and the people that rode with them. Whereas you have a negative environment with Ethan Van Sciver, very narcissistic and toxic and triangulating and destructive, and only certain people made it. And those people that made it to what you would call the big time in that circle are the other toxic people who just didn't give a fuck about anybody else, only cared about themselves. People like Malin and Anna and Cecil, and they just like let it go. Like they goddamn well know that lunch table is destructive. They dox people, they go after people. They look how jealous Ethan got of Eric July. Well, you know, just look at that. Eric July shot up to like 1 million.
Even from the rumblings from the trans fat cafeteria table, like I respect anybody who can, okay, for my outside opinion, and I don't really like, I'm not on the inner track with any
Immortal Coil's opinions are different than mine own. Get that warning out, bro.
Yeah. So the views and opinions and blah, blah, blah. And that's the section 504C, Title 17 of the United States Code.
I do not identify with Walton.
Well, it's one of those things from my perspective, and I'm not a fucking feminist historian or anybody else. I'm just like a dude making my way through the fucking universe. I'm Han Solo, basically. I
can be your Chewie.
July, yeah. You know, I shot first. I fuck Greedo. Fuck that guy. If I'm looking at this from the outside perspective, I want to believe, like in my own heart and soul, that like Comicsgate was the same thing that the indies did in the fucking 1980s, where it was like DIY and like we're gonna make our own fucking records and our own fucking goddamn magazines, and we're gonna be Image Comics and blah blah blah. So like when I see somebody like Ethan Van Sciver do what he did with Cyberfrog, okay, and I don't care if you like the fucking comic or not, he made $1 million at a point in history where it was like in fucking possible to do so otherwise. He fucking showed the way. Eric July, now he had some notoriety because he was a music artist, but at the same time he was like, no, fuck mainstream comics, I'm gonna make my own fucking thing. And he came out with ESOM. Now, like I said, in the trans fat DMs, we have dissected all that kind of shit, and there are some varying opinions about ESOM, but the fucking track, the way to do it had been demonstrated, and it seemed to be available to everybody if you just had the time and the talent and the ability to pull it off. Especially like in a 2023, you should be able to hire motherfuckers and execute your vision to its exact parameters. What do you think, sir?
So for any true trans fattian views on ISOM, please check out Black Angus Reviews and Rookie Critic.
If you want to hear the fucking truth.
Holy fuck. They are unrelenting. I have not engaged in this on my channel because, well, actually I don't have a dog in that fight, but to be
Neither
fair,
do I, but contention is interesting, and that's what Angus excels at. Like, he organizes people strategically for the point of dissecting issues, and not just because he courts chaos, but just because he knows that all sides of the fucking issue needed rounding, you know?
Like, I am selfishly pro ISOM because Ethan hates it. honestly, and also because like that's Gary's, and you know those that he's there, boy, Geeks and Gamers, you know, he's kind of with those guys. He also, you said like he's also a singer. He is, yes, he's also on the Blaze, you know. Oh, hold on. Walt's views and opinions are his own, not necessarily reflected by the views and opinions of Immortal Coil or anyone in the chat. Yeah, hail that, RR. I stand alone on that fucking hill.
Sightings, dude.
I'm Jon Snow on the field of the Battle of the Bastards. I don't give a fuck.
The tall John Johnson.
You're fucking right. Well, they've already, and part of the reason is my fifis were already here. See, this is the thing. I didn't understand a lot of what was going on because I didn't understand narcissism, and then I went through a crash course on it. So now I look at certain behaviors from people, and I'm not. It's not like I walk around and go, "That's that he's an narcissist." See, I don't do that, but I see these behaviors and I understand them a hell of a lot more, understanding the thought process of the personality disorder itself, you know, and how it manifests. And so I look back in time and I see that. I'm like, oh, this is what I should have done. Like, I should not have been so fucking passionate. I should have pointed out, I should have been more Angus with the whole thing that went down between EVS and Jeremy. I should have been more to the point, calm, like to the fact, and left it at that. That would have still created a narcissistic injury, but it would have been unattackable almost, you know, because I had so much passion and because I cared about EVS and I cared about TFM and everything that was going on. That's again to a toxic person, any type of toxic person who's targeting you, really, not just narcissistic. If you are passionate and you care about something, they're going to go after what you care about, you know, and that's what toxic people target to get an emotional reaction out of the victim of their abuse or the target of their harassment. But I look at that and so like, God, okay. So at ISOM, I'm
Eric
happy.
July.
I'm happy that Eric found success. He deserves it. He worked hard for it. He got to that point. I'm glad that you know, another bloody nose to the industry, which fucking deserves it because the industry hates us.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that there are a lot of other creators out there who have not gotten the shine that they deserve because of the nature of indie comics.
Eric July Fandom Menace? Or
no, I wouldn't say so.
Post Fandom Menace?
Yeah, possible. Well, there's people like Mauler.
Comicsgate?
There's
okay.
Well, okay. See, this is the thing. No. I think that the dictation that anyone who is an independent comic creator is Comicsgate, whether they realize it or not, is simply a narcissist trying to put a stamp on everyone's work. I think that, and anyone around Fandom Menace time who wasn't like, it's kind of the same house, right? So, no, he's not. Just like Mauler wasn't, but Mauler was around. Jeremy Hambley, the quartering, like he wasn't Fandom Menace, but he was around during that, you know. You know, he's one of us. I consider him one of us. A hashtag is a hashtag. Like the energy of a movement is what matters. So, you know, in that vein, you know, Eric July is his own thing. ISOM is its own thing, and he is now.
Is that what bothers EVS? That it's its own thing.
Well, that I think, yes, but also that it's out of his control. So I think that there was games being played once. See, this is the thing, and this is why I warn everybody. Like, hey, I see. It was disappointing to me, although I understood the move when I saw Drunk 3PO streaming with EVS and Anna and those guys, because I'm like, you know damn well who those people are. You know damn well the heartless pieces of shit that they are, the manipulative, destructive people, and here you are. Over here just to sell a book. On one hand, you can look at it like, I'll stream with Satan. Like Culture Casino has said, I'd interview fucking Hitler. You know what I mean? If it got me subs, right? So some people come by it honestly, and that's whatever. But at the same time, it's, you know, I think that's what, I think Drunk has a much easier way of skirting those things, to whereas Eric July is, I think, a more passionate outward person. So I believe that, I have no inside baseball. It's just experience and watching these motherfuckers for years. I think that Ethan, I think Ethan got in there with the cover and thought, my name, my stamp's going to be on this forever. I have now tied in another supply for positive or negative fuel that I can use as either a drama stream or someone that I can just someone I can use, for whatever reason. And once Eric was like, nah, bitch, you ain't, you don't control me, motherfucker, whitey. You don't,
he was the young fucking Ripper, and
yeah, you're not going to control him.
Tell him, yeah.
But like I said, to a narcissist, they are the center of their universe, right? So for him to declare independence to a narcissistic person, to create boundaries and say, no, this is mine and this is my thing, that created an injury to the narcissistic person, and that's why.
Is this going in the book?
No, this isn't. No, look, I actually had to have this talk. Okay. No, this is just, and this is why I talk about this stuff on streams, because when you guys get Fandom Menace Volume 2, it's not going to have this stuff in it. It's not going to have these views in it. It's going to have what happened. No, it's going to have what happened, who was involved, what inspiration, what they inspired, who they inspired, what came of it.
So this is the Farmer's Almanac of the fucking, yeah.
This is the real deal. Yeah, Walton doesn't give a fuck no more because I've already been put through the fire. I have all the fake friends exposed themselves. I see them all coming a mile away now. I have to thank Grisafi for destroying my fucking soul over the last 3 years, because now I've leveled up and I see a lot better than I ever did. Yeah, I see. It's the truth. Like I see it. I understand the behaviors.
That reemerged.
Goddamn do I love. Goddamn do I. Hail War Campaign. They're out there just going, and this narcissist. They straight up started using that word. I was like, yes, you're right. That is a narcissist. I'm gonna the Volume 2, no, none of this. This Volume 2 is going to be straight up, for all of us. It's for everybody's fans. I want, no matter what I may think of them or what they may think of me, I want, Van Sciver's fans to read it, whatever sections of him are in it, and just and nod and feel acknowledged. You know what I mean? Like they deserve that. So that's what Volume 2 is about. And you're right. I have talked a lot about it in recent weeks, and that's because I'm working on the book again. So as I'm writing this paragraph
you're
about
kind
how
of reliving
I am, dude.
And
as I'm writing this, as I'm having to write paragraphs about how people like Van Sciver inspired me on the other end of it, I'm like, whoa! And then 2 years later, this selfish fucking piece of shit, targeted me, and yeah. So that's. Yeah, but as far as like telling it how it is on streams, I'm going to do that. That's why I can't wait to get up with Snow again, because that's what we used to do. Snow would just let me fucking get on a goddamn
that's going to be tomorrow morning,
soapbox.
Dude. That's like 9:30 a.m. Pacific, which is probably like what, 1 in the morning? No, 1 in the afternoon, your time.
1 in the afternoon. Yeah, it's like 12. Yeah, it's like 12:30, 1 in the afternoon. And the one thing that I'm going to love about it is having us fucking bastards together is that we've all been through the fire. All of us in our own ways have been through. Angus has been through. We've all been through it.
We've all melted, dude.
We've all had to deal with some shit. And so I think at this point, like, I don't think we need to hold back, or we need to show restraint in a way that hinders our voice at the expense
just think about the magnitude of the kind of show that these 5-6 people can present to you guys. Because we care about you. We care about the chat. We care about the audience.
Hail the chat.
This is going to be fucking fire, dude.
It's going to be fun. It's good. And I can't wait for like the people who have never experienced it, who have just come around in the last couple of years.
Oh, they don't even know.
Yeah. I started playing. I redid the old Rogue intro, like our first intro. Hail to
He
Red
actually
Gaze.
said he would use yours. Yeah.
Hail to Red Gaze, who made that intro for a lot of the Rogue stuff for us. Please check out Sunsworn. And I was at Slender Dad. Like Slender Dad was in the chat. He's like, "Oh, is this a new intro?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, that's right. You've never seen this."
Yeah.
Because you weren't around 3 years ago when Rogue was still strong. Yeah. But to get back to your question, I think that it's a measure of jealousy and creating controversy. And I think that when a toxic person sees an emotionally reactive or highly emotional person, they feel, or passionate person, I should say, they feel as though that they can target them for supply, to harass them. And
I even want to offer this. EVS was in a unique position to present his creation. I would argue that Eric July was also in an equally unique position to offer his creation.
Yeah, true.
It's just that Eric July was not a comic book industry insider. He decided to take on that fucking mantle. But EVS had been there since like the 90s, I want to say. Like he was drawing
Yeah, I
X-Men
believe he was
and
from the 90s. Yeah, I believe
fucking
so.
DC and all that kind of shit. So like suddenly somebody with equally large balls walks up and he's like, okay, so now I have to deal with this guy. And it became what it became.
When I mean, like when it comes to a resume, like Ethan's legit. There's no
he walked through the fucking he shook hands with Stan Lee. Okay, if you haven't met Stan Lee, then I don't fucking give a fuck about your comics. Okay, this guy worked with him, and Eric July, he had his own notoriety, and he was like, I don't agree with the fucking position that the comic book industry is taking. So guess what? I'm going to step up. I'm going to introduce my own superhero, my own fucking line, my own fucking thing. And I think it disturbed the pond puddle, as it were. You know, EVS made a splash because he made himself a millionaire by his own hand and talent by crowdfunding. And then so did Eric July. And it has nothing to do with like being a rapper or being black or being no. It just, that's the only competition. So like, where else does he have to fucking go? Because everybody else that's made the same kind of money, EVS is already kind of promoted or, you know, pushed up or fluffed up or, you know what I'm saying? Eric July did it by himself the same way that EVS did it by himself, except he was not an industry insider.
Yes, I would agree.
Sense?
I completely concur with that. Like, so like year one, Ethan, very inspiring. You know, year one comic artist Pro Secrets was once he got into the Star Wars game, once he got into like the TFM game.
Oh, we talked about this too. Yeah, year one.
Yeah, very inspiring. Yeah, it was. You know, to a lot of different creators, and it's a shame that, like, for whatever positives were taken from that, like, I'm happy for people, you know, and as far as a professional, he's a professional. You can't take that away from the guy, and he crowdfunded a very successful campaign on the backs of a lot of passion for comics and movies and things that were being destroyed at the time, you know. Mm-hmm. I honestly, I don't see longevity in that, but I could be wrong. I honestly, you know, I could be. I don't see
or in Cyberfrog.
In Cyberfrog and that whole thing. I think, I think that enough people are aware.
It has a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle kind of thing going for it, which I dig, but I hear what you're saying. I think like I was more interested in things like Rainbow the Brute and you know.
Interesting story about Rainbow Brute. That was stolen. That's from another creator who was bullied.
Really?
There was that's something I was original.
That's a tall fucking
it's the information is out there. I was originally going to present it in volume 2, but I decided not to. Okay. There was a creator who had that idea. I believe he's based out of California. He's a gay guy, Rainbow Brute, literally, you know, who was then harassed by the Etsy's and disappeared because of the consistent online harassment. So that person may or may not still be with us, but that is...
That's fine. Maybe saying you make a statement like that, you should be able to back it up. You know,
it's backable. It is entirely backable, dude.
All right, Walton is willing to stand on his fucking statement, and again, the opinions and views expressed by the.
Yeah, it's expressed. That's mine alone. But there's things that it's like the ground is soil, right? It's like Pet Sematary. Okay, yeah, we could bring this shit back to life, but it's going to be soil. Evil. Yeah, you know, it's so in that way, I think that like things like ISOM, if you like it or not, I think have a chance to go a full run and be profitable because of the positive support system that are in place. And
Well,
it
so
was
hang on real fast. RR
yeah.
is saying that EVS is one of DC's best artists. Yes, indeed, with Jeff Johns, he reimagined Green Lantern, and like nobody would
Oh, it was
fucking know who Green
beautiful.
Lantern was.
His Green Lantern was gorgeous.
And he
Absolutely, dude.
still gets fucking subsidiaries. Like they make TV shows and movies based on his fucking input. So we can't like completely shit on him. We can say like maybe he needs some character development, but like, you know, his artistic contribution has been noted to society.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Will not take that away. I don't care shit how much I don't like somebody. I
Yeah.
will not take away like their legitimate contribution or their accomplishments.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. On that,
But I just think
Luke Cafeteria Walker.
there you go, bro. You're doing really well right now. Uh, yeah, I don't know. The ground is soil as far. I think that enough has been exposed at this point where it's just like, and that's kind of why I'm.
Well, and
Just
here's the thing is we all
whatever.
as YouTubers or whatever the fuck you want to say, we put this out there for you guys to consider, for you guys to make up your own goddamn mind, and for you to be independent thinkers upon the face of planet Earth. If you don't want to do that, then fuck off. But if you do, then you're welcome to sit at the table and have this discussion.
Absolutely.
Stephen, I saw this thing and I don't know if it's a joke or not. I don't know if it's a joke or not, and I am working with like crappy technology, so I can't like share screens or anything at this point. You have to pretend it's a fucking radio broadcast.
Are you on mobile?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah. If I was on a PC, I could do it. Okay, but go ahead.
But it was a funny thing, and I don't remember the name of the fucking thing, but I think you saw it. It was this thing where it was like presented as a sort of Hogwarts for black folks, and it's like this black dude in a fucking
Are you
suit
talking
walked
about
into
like the
yes,
mystical college of Negroes or some shit?
a fucking African American
Yeah, we need to get
Negroes,
we
and
need to get half black Angus on this.
I wanted him, like, dude, I fucking like courted him.
Oh, we're bringing that up tomorrow. Oh, that's a gender
let's
check.
do it. Let's do it. But while I have you right now, as a magical man,
Man.
why does like 19th century African American experience need to be brought into the realms of like Harry Potter magic? Like why? When they had like Zulu shamanism, dude, that's like some of the most powerful magic that's ever existed on the planet Earth. Why? What? Where are we? Why? What? Huh?
I actually don't have an issue with that. I think it's going to be funny as shit.
I think it's a joke.
I think the execution is going to be a joke. Yeah.
Okay. So you think it's like a Seth Brothers movie? Like it's supposed to be silly?
I think it's going to. I'm hoping that it's going to take kind of a Charmed track. Is what I'm hoping, because I was watching Charmed. I just happened to catch like the first episode while I was at that hotel, in between banging a pink unicorn.
Sorry enough.
But when she showed up in that, I said,
like,
I'm so taking a picture of that onesie, and I'm gonna tell everybody in Rogue that I bit the horn while we were fucking. I'm hoping it's gonna take a Charm track, because the original was kind of serious, and like it was kind of a serious show before it took like that comedy turn, but it always had a little bit of humor in it. And that's what I'm hoping, because my magical journey, magical man, dude, a lot of my practice comes from African, Creole, Middle Eastern,
then
North African.
Then why would these black people from slavery times in America be dressing like carpetbaggers and like sprinkling sand into a fucking mirror and like doing Matrix shit? It doesn't make sense to me.
Because during the slavery era, you're talking about like the 1800s, like early 1800s.
Well,
is that what you're talking about?
Let's say Jim Crow era. Okay, slavery has been abolished, but like you're still an N-word, I almost said it, but you're still an N word.
Oh, you're still an Irishman. Got you. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
um, because see, one of the things that has been skewed or ignored outright from American history are the free blacks, are the Creole blacks, are the and also the one-eyed Charlies. Let's not forget those guys. But there's, there were African America, if I guess if you would call that, or blacks that came to the Americas. They were not all slaves,
Yeah.
and there were areas of the country where they prospered. Most in like French America, really, mostly. After the Civil War, it became
There's some beautiful women out there.
hyper-politicized. Yeah. I think it
Yeah.
became hyper-politicized, and there's been so much concentration on the southern, or the slave state the slave descendants. I think there's been so much concentration on that era or that part of American history that, to be used as a tool of division and devaluation by fucking politicians and bankers, that there's not much emphasis on the positives that were historically there for people who immigrated or came here from Africa or were freed before the Civil War. So if they're going to do this, like, I hope it's done well and tastefully, and I hope it's kind of like how it takes that charm track, the original charm track, where it's kind of a serious endeavor. But I hope that they incorporate some historical accuracies in as far as like freed blacks in the Americas, because there's way too, like I said, there's way too much emphasis on that darker part of history. And by dark, I don't mean skin tone.
No,
I mean
no,
awful.
no. But let me try to have you explain it more succinctly.
You do.
Why
that,
would
sir.
they be trying to use European connotations such as like dusting sand into a fucking mirror and walking into whatever, versus Zulu shamanism, which was like, I'm gonna manifest a fucking dinosaur and he's gonna bite your fucking head off,
Well, I think there are a lot more similarities than there are differences. Maybe, in the incantations, there's definitely differences, or the representations of gods and goddesses. But the spellcraft is pretty much the same, given the differences in terrainal elements.
Well, and so there was a emphasis on pronouncing things, like using magical words. Like, we all know the phrase abracadabra, but like if you have African vocabulary versus if you have Celtic vocabulary, that kind of thing.
Well, I mean, I don't know, because like I said, okay, so I'm playing Hogwarts Legacy, just real quick, right? I'm playing Hogwarts with my kid. We're taking turns playing Hogwarts Legacy, and one of the big things in this game that I'm seeing being pushed, which I'm fine with, is diversity, which is fine because it was kind of in the movies, it's whatever. And there's this one African chick, this other student that you meet, and she's talking about where she came from. She's a transfer from another school that was in Africa, and then she's talking.
Fat?
No.
No.
But she so she's talking to the main character, you, and talks about how she's getting used to using wands, because where she comes from in her country, they don't use wands, right? I don't know if they use staves. I don't know if they use staves or whatever, and so she's getting used to it, but she kind of likes it. So there's like an acclimation to the style of magic in Hogwarts, or in that area, as opposed to her native country. And I think that is the same for magicians
it's the same magic,
across the world,
but it's like different languages,
different execution, because you're still using the same vibe. You're still using the same frequencies.
Yeah,
it's the similar frequencies, right? I mean, okay, there's a difference between Tiawas and Thor. Okay, both are very masculine, justice type deities.
Well, and you can also say there's a difference between Mexico Spanish and Spain Spanish. Okay, it's the same
Well,
fucking
true that.
language, but it has different flavors to it. Is that what I'm picking up?
Well, okay, all right. So, okay, if you are trained in a specific style of martial art, all right,
Okay, so Wing Chun. Let's break it down to Kung Fu.
yeah,
If
like
you're training
if you-
Wing Chun, then it makes different sense than Hung Gar or
right,
Tai Chi.
right. All the styles are different. You're using the same energies, the same body and spirit energies, but the way that you execute them and manifest them are different. And I think that that's the same for magical practice. You know, like if I cast a fucking protection spell in Celtic or Gaelic or Druidic, and I cast a protection spell in Babylonian,
Then it
or
boils
you know,
down to intent.
it
Okay.
does come down to intent, the frequency that you're emitting. The executions are different. But I think that the reason why people train in different styles, whether it's art or martial arts or magic or whatever it is to create a connection between you and the ether, create a connection between you and the style, the energy that you're performing in a specific way. But the end result, I think, is still the same. Now, whether or not they're executed with more precision is up to, I guess, the individual to decide. But
Yeah.
an African magician using an English style or a Anglo-Saxon style is going to create with pure intent the same reaction or the same conjuration. And that's why I think pronunciation, creating, drawing your seals, whether it's meditation, creating sacred space, going into the ritualized aspect of the spellcraft, those things come down to how well you're trained and concentrate in a specific style. And so that's why pronunciation would mean so much to a clan or a coven or a group, because that is their flair, that is their imprint on the divine. That's
So maybe
the way
it
they
came
manifest.
down to the coven. Is that what you're saying? Why?
Yeah, it comes down to the style and the coven and the execution and the history. And because, as you know, the histories themselves also have time as a construct of our dimension. So the execution, the continual execution of a style in a specific manner does add to the buildup of energy when you go to create effect.
Okay. So then let me ask you this, as it relates to a film that is pushing Black people using European styles of magic, why would they wish to put that into the fucking public consciousness? Do you understand
why
what
not?
I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I'm looking at it like, why not? I've been doing fucking hoodoo and voodoo for 20 plus years, bro, and that's purely African.
Okay, then is it appropriate for Black people to claim white people magic, if you want to put it that way?
Yeah, it's fine. I think that's fine for me. Yeah, I have no issue with that. It's the celebration of magic. Style. Yeah.
Gotcha.
In the same way, like, I don't believe in this whole cultural appropriation bullshit. I don't
get you, but like, I don't have a lot of opportunity to talk to magicians about magic, and it's.
I'm not a magician. I'm not an illusionist. I'm a mage, a sage, or a necromancer.
But it's one of those things. You understand about how to manipulate reality, and there's this thing that's kind of cartooning it, and that's just what I want to get an opinion on.
I don't mind
that. Sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. I don't mind it at all. First off, on the DL, fuck the Christians. I think that. I think
yeah, let's get that out of the way. Fuck the Christians.
Let me get that out of my system.
If anybody needs to get laid, all right.
No, okay. Oh no, and I just want to say, I was around some Christians on Thanksgiving who were very, very open, wonderful, beautiful people. I stood in their circle. good enough to stand in a blessing with them.
Most of them are pretty fucking nice.
They are. It's just that when you bring up terms that have been used for systematic
I
devaluation.
spent like fucking 5 hours fighting with one of those guys because he did not know his Bible, and I was like arguing his Bible to him, and he just couldn't fucking do it.
Dude, stop! First off, you need to stop that, Nicole. What are you doing?
I guess
What are you
not.
fucking doing? What are you doing, bro?
Well,
No, you don't do that. No, you don't do.
Doing.
No, you can't. I understand that, but no, you don't do that. So, I was actually preparing to have that type of conversation when I went to the Thanksgiving ritual that I did.
You were sharpening your fangs. You were just.
I was
ready to be
sharpening. I was sharpening my ability to be nuanced. Okay.
Okay.
And thankfully, none of those conversations came up. It was just like, "Hey, Steve the Witch is here," and nobody said anything.
That's
which was awesome. I loved it.
Year, I
got treated like a human being. I was so fucking happy. I didn't ride to your house on a fuch broomstick. You know,
you didn't piss in anybody's room. You're all right.
I didn't piss in anybody's room or nothing. Yeah, it was fucking great. No, but one of the things that I was prepared to have if that conversation came up, because back in the day it was a conversation. Is that for all rivers, like in my belief system, all rivers lead to the ocean, and some people like myself take a more sharpening the stakes, bro. Some people take a more spiritual approach to it, in which we can traverse different rivers in order to get to the ocean, and we can go upstream and we can go to explore different parts of the river. And then you have people who are very specific. They know their leg of the trip. They know their little part of the of the universe. Like they know their one river, and that one river is their river.
Right. Yeah.
And so to me, it doesn't matter if you are a person who specializes in one part of the river, or you're a person who can, take explorations in other parts of the world, spiritual rivers. All of them lead to the ocean. So however a person decides to get there is on them. It's just that I think some people get stuck in like swamps and eddies and then claim that that's the only destination. It's like, no, that's not the only destination.
Yeah, I guess. But like if you had access to the fucking Sumerian original story or you could choose between the Jewish story, which I don't mean to say it like that. Why
the Jews were pagans before they were monotheists. Sorry, just want to get that out.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So like if you have access to the Zulu shamanism, right, and you choose to use English fucking like mirror magic, then what the fuck are you doing? Because like you know what I mean?
Okay, let me ask you this: who the fuck in Hollywood, who in television now?
They're not original.
Who is?
That's the answer. Nobody's original.
Hire script doctor Hollywood. Whoever script doctor is, hire him. Because he could do this. Someone like Script Doctor could absolutely write you a series where you had Zulu shamanism in a modern age that was translated in such a way that would be intriguing, engaging, and also give you a taste of that culture. Okay.
Well, you remember like when Wakanda came out, like all the black people were just like Wakanda, blah, blah.
My God, every time I hear that now, I hear Ryan Roger Athey going, Wakanda forever.
Well, but imagine having access to the original intent. And I guess that's all I'm saying, man. I really wish it was like original.
Okay, it's not original right now. It's not original right now. So what you're going to do is you're going to get a
reboot after reboot after reboot. And
you're going to get
I'm sick of the fucking boots, dude.
You're going to get what you're going to get are progressives who don't know their ass from a hole in the ground, who are going to reuse. They're going to literally culturally appropriate something that they hate to do or they say is terrible from a culture.
Hang on, Steven, address that.
This stream is about, you know what? I'm going to tell you right now because we did not have our dick question. Are you ready, Immortal Coil?
I have my fucking Flagstaff pointed
Okay.
at the ground.
All right,
Let's
blah
do
blah.
it.
This stream is about a bunch of fucking nothing. But most especially the most important thing of the night is the dick question of the night. All right, so are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Chat, everybody. This is for everybody. Okay, you ready? You have to say you're ready, Coil.
Let's go.
Okay, all right. Would you rather have
Don't. Okay, go.
dicks for fingers or a vagina for a mouth?
I think dicks for fingers. I can deal with that. Like I know where to stick them. I know what to do with them, but like at the same time, like I feel like like Beetlejuice, like when the hand comes up and it's like shrimps, but
Yeah.
instead it's dicks.
Yeah.
That's about how I feel in this situation.
Okay, so all right, so dicks for fingers, not a vagina for a mouth.
Yeah.
Okay,
Blah
all right,
blah says fingers 100%. I think blah
all right.
blah might be a plant. I think I might know who that guy is, but
Don't
anyway.
worry about the plant. Okay, he said dicks for fingers. He agreed. It's all good.
He is going
RR.
along with the show.
RR. What's RR answers? Did he answer yet?
He says no. He says he's ready. He says hardwood. No, I don't think he answered you directly.
RR, he's supposed to play the game. I don't understand what's going on here. Papa last week wouldn't answer the question.
Yeah.
Where's Papa Cotton, by the way? Have you seen him?
I have not. Not tonight. I hope he's okay.
Hail to our newest addition to the Fatties, by the way.
Yeah. You don't get elected to the fucking seat of fatty easily. And
you don't. We had a vote.
You had to show tenacity. You had to be true and all that kind of shit.
I think that yeah, we all voted too.
Blah, blah.
Like Red Gaze came out of the woodwork.
Yeah. He did.
More tools at your disposal.
Yeah. All right, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
all right.
There he goes. RR. Papa's
He spared this moment.
What's your answer, though, Pop? RR. Dicks for fingers or a vagina for a mouth? Come on.
I think that a vaginal mouth would be a lot of like care. You'd have to care for it a lot more. Like other than just brushing and mouthwash and flossing. Like I think there would be more. I do think that it would be a lot more involved in cleaning your vaginal mouth. Than just cleaning a mouth.
He says dicks for fingers.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much universal. I'm gonna have to think of a harder question next time. So, but thank you very much for everyone for participating. That was our dick question for the week.
That was our for tonight. Like, have your pet spayed and neutered, kind of.
It's a hell of a lot better than nudicles. Oh my fucking god!
That was an insane concept to you last week, dude.
I can't handle that. How do you get your dog fucking neutered and then you attach like fake balls? Like
that's the thing. It's like you look your best friend in the fucking face, you cut his balls off, and then you're like, listen, I'm gonna get you like some designer balls. And somehow he's supposed to be okay with it.
I'm filling those fuckers with catnip. I'm going full in. Oh, absolutely.
Make it a punching bag, dude.
Going all in. If I'm going to be that ridiculous, I'm going ham.
Might as well make it fun for the cats.
Yeah,
this is your author, Stephen Walton. You guys.
It's either gonna be catnip or it's gonna be like a chew toy. I'm gonna make it smell like fucking. Like beef jerky. Like what would you do? What would you do? Like if you're fucking laying there, like you're in the park, you walk past some old man, and there's a dog sitting next to him, and at first, like you don't see the entire dog, like you just see just the fur, and you're like, oh, cute doggy, and then you keep walking, and this dog is tearing into his balls. Like what the fuck do you do? Like how do you translate that? God forbid you have a kid with you. Oh my God, mommy, look, like. That's going to scar
it's
some
also
people.
One of those things. So, like, suppose Sonny Jim, he's only like 10, 12 years old. He looks at your dog's balls and he judges that they are amorphous for some reason. And he knows that they're nudicles. And he's like, okay, I can't see the TM. walking behind his wagging ass, but like for some reason I can fucking and how do you ask your dad that question comfortably? Are you like,
You
"Dad,
don't.
how come that dog's ball sack isn't like fucking right?" Like,
No, I like you don't ask that. Coil. No one knows what nudicles are except for weirdo fucking
No,
people
like
on the West
us.
Coast like you.
we're
Yeah,
talking
that's
to
the only
like
people that know.
like 12 in the fucking morning because I know what that shit is, but
Yeah, nobody knows what that is. Okay, I didn't know. Nobody knows. Okay, kids are going to be terrified. They're going to see that shit gnarled, skin flaking off. I just like that dog is going off on his bug, just destroying his own balls.
R is like, holy diver in the middle of the midnight sea. He's riding the fucking tiger, dude. All right, go ahead.
I don't know where I'm going with that. I just think that it would be a horror experience. You know, like you would have to put if I did that to an animal. Honestly, if I did that, there would have to be some kind of fake skin involved. You know what I mean? Like it'd have to be like
you
a
would
Lego.
give him a skin graft, like you would.
No, like skin graft.
gladly
What I'm
off
saying
your
is that
fucking
what I'm saying is it would
kneecap.
attach to the base of his dog dick with like a Lego head, like you would snap it on. You know
like
what
you
I mean?
would
Like
frame it in gold, like it would be like a fucking James Bond piece.
no,
Would it
I
be a
honestly
gold member.
no, I honestly think that it would be a trippy fucking experience to see the look on like a virgin's face for a dog to rip off their own balls and like throw it like a chew toy.
The holy diver. Holy shit, man. That was highly descriptive.
Next question, please.
Yeah, well, blah blah says something. He says, what are your thoughts on what's about happening in the palace?
Oh god, okay. We gotta do this
political.
on YouTube.
Yeah,
we gotta do this. Well, it's not entirely. That can be a spiritual question.
Well, if you want to go back to the fucking like execution of it, it's about arguing over it's about the exact site of where the fucking dome, like that golden thing, is sitting. It's about the property.
It's about the mosque. What was that mosque called?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
I don't know. It's called bullshit. But it's about no, it's about the location. It's about the location. It's about the exact. It's about gods with a little g pretending to be gods with a big G, pissing over the same fucking 2 slants of land.
It is about the same god in 3 incarnations who is still angry.
There you go.
You know what? Okay. So there was this little thing. There was this thing that was really sad in my part of the world. I'm from North America, called the Western. It was called the Western Expansion. And during the Westward Expansion, really horrible things happened, like the Trail of Tears, which was, where native populations were moved from where they had their ancestral lands, their ancestral roaming lands, and were forced onto little pieces of land where they couldn't grow or anything, and they rebelled because you don't treat people like that. And then they were eventually forced to the lower states along this thing called the Trail of Tears, where a lot of them passed away. So in the infancy of all that, you had a peoples who came to this land who had developed things like ironworking and gunpowder and the wheel, and they basically just took over. And it's a sad story of like a superior technology coming in and taking over.
Can I interrupt you?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it's about the argument about a space of land between L and Ball, and that's the history of the age of Taurus versus the age of Aries.
Oh, we're gonna get into that. That's way deeper than I was.
This motherfucker wants to ask this kind of question, then we're gonna get savage. We're gonna whip it out, and we're gonna
Well, let me finish my
mushroom-shaped face.
Let me finish my whipping, and then you whip it out. All right. Because I'm going with the short stroke. You're going with the long stroke.
Well.
Okay, so my short stroke says basically, you had people that were fighting over an area of land that was not originally theirs, but then it became theirs and was theirs for over 1,000 years. And then you had outsiders come over and go, hey, this is a really hot button issue. It causes a lot of fifis and a lot of different people that we can use as confusion in order to take over with our banker backers. So let's carve out this little piece of land and give it back to people that have been there for 1,500 years and create confusion and chaos so that we can slowly take over the regional resources, create chaos between our enemies so that we can run games like a puppet master. That's
That
kind
sounds
of
like
what
a
it
lot
was.
of post World War II shit.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of World War One and World War Two.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what happened there. Like, okay, like the creation of the state should have never been a thing. And now since it is, it's a hot button issue, and it creates a lot of chaos and misery and death and terrible things just for a foothold in a part of the world where historically, from a European perspective, historically, that part of the world had dominated for almost 2,000 years, and it even made insurrections up into Europe and taken over.
Say this real
various
fast.
sections.
How come there's
Oh, go ahead.
only 4 people watching right now? Can you like, share, and subscribe? Can you get other people involved in this podcast? Because we are up past bullshit hours trying to entertain you motherfuckers with
With as much bullshit as possible.
with a serious question. So go ahead.
Yeah,
sir.
but and thank you to everybody that's watching. We greatly appreciate it, whether you're lurking or interacting. Thank you so much. So that's where I stand with the whole Palestine issue. It was Palestine for what, like 1,500 years? For how many?
Well,
well over 1,000 years, right?
Are you ready to talk about changing ages?
Yes, let us go back. Let us go back to the precession of the equinox and Coil's
That's
long
right.
stroke. All right.
That is right. That is how long my dick is. That is how long it has survived.
Intergalactic pimp. Please continue.
Pussy. Okay. So what I want to say is that this is a ongoing battle between the change of the light from the age of the bull to the age of the ram.
And we're almost at the age of the fish. Or the bucket of water.
We're almost there. And actually the book that is continuing to be read is referencing that age. But if you look at the thing that pissed off Moses, okay, he came down from the fucking mount. He saw that people were making artifices to the
and having
reign of the
massive sex.
fucking cow. Yeah.
Because the age of Taurus kicked fucking ass. Sorry, go ahead.
It did. I mean, they were. And he
That's
got
what we
so
do.
pissed off that he's like smashed a thing that supposedly God made with his own finger. And he ordered
those
the
fingers
slaughter.
were not made of dicks.
No. And he ordered the slaughter of everybody that lived underneath their fucking tabernacle. Like that was, it sounds like a dick tickle, but like it was like a fucking word back then. And
because the age of Aries is angry and warlike and awful.
yeah. Well, you were supposed to blow a horn, and I'm not gonna blow anybody, dude.
Yeah,
Never.
you're blowing a horn for your masculinity, okay?
You're gonna blow a whore? No. Negative. No. And I hope blah blah is fucking listening because we're answering your question. The main point is that there was a change of the solar cycle, and now we're where we are, and we're fucking dealing with it. And you're either going to deal with it with like a hard dick in the sun, or you're going to be a fucking pussy and go home and sleep and cry.
I know the age of Pisces was a lot about fifis. I hope Aquarius. That's another water sign. We went from Earth to fire, and now we got 2 water signs back to back. 2 water ages. That's a lot of fifis.
It is what it is. It is what it is, but we can't lose the original intent of what our genetic programming is, which is I'm a man, I'm going to go out and hunt, I'm going to provide, I'm going to be the stand-up stoic figure that you look up to, or you will die. You know.
Bro, I don't know, because we are ending one fucking water age with Pisces, and then we're going to go into Aquarius. And so far, the transition has involved transitions. All right, we're questioning pronouns now. I don't know.
Hang
Like,
on.
for
How
all
often do those changes happen? Okay,
3,600 years.
there you go. Don't you fucking question me on my own goddamn broadcast. Go ahead.
He's not being hostile. He's being fat.
I hope so.
Don't,
I
blah,
hope
blah.
so.
Don't take it personally. He's been up here with me listening to me bitch about EVS for a fucking hour. He's all fucking twisted up. Fucking right now, a coil right now is like clutching his cyber frog. And he's like,
Well, I hope that you're
Sorry.
serious, blah blah. If you're
Yeah.
a true motherfucker and you're just like looking for answers, then I can deal with that. If you're being sideways at me, you'll get the fucking sideways of me.
Oh God, be
That's all I'm
sideways, please.
saying.
Oh please.
Yeah.
I love angry coil.
Anyway,
No. So what? What's your so? You think that the Abraham religions, which started in the beginning of Aries, right? So what that's basically what they're saying is because Moses. That's kind of like, okay, wait, okay, who? Okay, okay, who was the? Okay,
It's hang on. It seems that blah blah is playing. So okay.
okay,
I'm
cool.
Sorry. I apologize if I was like pointing my vicious teeth at you, but I have them. So
It wasn't. I think it was less teeth, more penis. There was like more shaft.
Well, Walton
So-
was a witness. So
No, I'm not. Okay, first off, Rookie Critic is the one who hugged him. I think. Okay.
yeah,
wait, okay.
join us tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. for Gender Check on Snowdub's channel. You guys will be thoroughly entertained in a way that I cannot express outside of Pornhub. So
Snowdub Music and Entertainment. Please subscribe to him. Good friend, wonderful person that's going to be hosting Gender Check. Looking forward to that. Great
all right,
group
we're
of
still in the
assholes.
long stroke section. So there
Oh,
go.
we're definitely in the
All
long
right.
stroke section. Sir.
Yeah, we got that. Okay.
Okay,
Cool.
so what you're
can
saying
ride.
is that this thing that's going on in the Middle East is a continuation of the birth of I heard voices in my head that told me to mutilate my penis and burn my son alive religions, and but that didn't start with Moses, right? Moses is so technically would the Abraham religion start at the end of Taurus?
With Zeusudra, if you want to go back to the fucking Iraqi pronunciation of it. So God decided that he was going to let the world vanish. And he didn't cause the fucking flood. He allowed the flood to fucking happen. Okay? And there was only one person that he whispered to. If you believe the fucking myths, I don't know about this.
You go back to the Tower of Babel, right?
I'm going back to Utnapishtim and the fucking Noah. I'm going back to Noah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
10,000. So like roughly 10,000 years.
And it's one of those things, like, he did not think that I'm going to cause a flood. He's like, no, there's a flood that I know is forthcoming because he could predict the weather and all that kind of shit. You could see the same way meteorologists conduct themselves. It existed 10,000 years ago. So, okay, I'm just going to let this fucking thing happen and let it kill everything. And I'm just going to tell one guy about it. And guess what? That's the seed of fucking life.
Well, technically, he told more than one guy. I think that he cheated because there was a lot of
Might
guys
have.
that knew all across the world.
Well, and
Right.
so that's the thing. That's one of the oldest stories. If you go to like South America, they have a variant of it. If you go to India, they have a variant of it. But it's the same.
Whoever the fuck built Machu Picchu heard that
Yeah,
shit
yeah.
and built a city on top of a mountain.
It's the same fucking information, and you get it, and they got it, and here we are. So, what are we doing
All right.
now?
What we're doing. So, oh God, it's like I don't understand. It's, you know what it's like? It's like the Abrahams All right, all their incarnations, because I lump them all together. It's all the same fucking tribe to me.
The Abrahams. You called
yeah.
them all one
That's
thing.
yeah, they're the Abrahams, all right? All of
Yeah.
those belief
They're
systems started with
Abrahamic.
all of those belief systems started with a guy who heard voices in his fucking head that said, "Hey, carve your fucking skin off your dick and then burn
Yeah.
your kid alive." Okay, that's prove your worth to me. Mutilate your dick and burn your kid. That is not a good foundation for a belief system. I'm sorry, and that's my opinion. But I'm being
Okay,
facetious.
so let me ask you this. From an off-world perspective, why would you think that your dick doesn't look like it should unless you're from off-world? Can you answer me that? Can you answer me that?
No,
Can
I
you
think
answer
that's.
me that?
I think, sir, that is way too much thinking about your dick. All right, it's like if your belief
Dude.
system starts with we must shape our penises into a mushroom.
No,
I think that
no. You come down from off-world and you look at some dick that does not look like yours, and you're just like, "That's wrong." So we gotta reshape it. You gotta say it in that trippy voice. You gotta be like, "We gotta reshape it."
No, again, dude. All right, then we are dealing with fucking off-worlders who think too much with their dicks. Okay,
Do you understand that? Where did your idea of your dick come from? If not, okay. Listen, you
don't
were
even know.
made in the image and the likeness of Elohim. Now, what the fuck does that word mean? That means not of your planet, motherfucker. Do not argue me.
I am going to allow Coil the floor.
All right, he has no adequate answer for that.
I have no adequate answer.
If blah blah or somebody else has a other question for that, or if you want to
Did we
enter
answer
the discussion. I think we embarrassed him down to the fact that he cannot
You embarrassed me. I know you embarrassed. I don't even know where to go with that. I was trying to come up with some. Listen,
I have fucked alien pussy. So
we know you're an intergalactic pimp, Coil. We understand.
You tell me. All right. Anyway, next fucking top. What do you got? What do
do I have? So I banged a chick in a unicorn Wednesday this week.
Huh.
And well, actually, she was wearing black lace underneath of it, so I will give her that. Like I'm being a little bit too much, but that was going back to what the discussion we had a year and a half ago. We kind of been touching on here and there about the exchange of sacred energy between a man and a woman. Because I have meditated and I have grounded and I have come out the other end healed of the situation I went through, and had not engaged in the sacred exchange for so long. It was an incredible fucking orgasm, I might say. And it didn't feel toxic at all with this person.
Well, let's hang on. We got something bounced back to us.
Okay. Blah blah's not fucking around tonight, Coil.
Can you read that?
Yes. He said, well, you said off-world. What are your thoughts on openly discussed of possible aliens? Oh, yeah, this one he can get into.
What does that mean? Do you mean that I believe that aliens exist?
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the open discussion of the possibility of extraterrestrials?
Yeah.
Thank you, blah blah. That's a good question.
That's a great question. And honestly, inside the sphere, it seems to be like a foregone one. But yes, the possibility exists. The chemistry is out there. The means to do so fucking has happened. So yes, I do believe that alien life is possible. Okay.
I not only think it's possible, I think it's been proven time and time again with the interaction that is pretty much cemented in our world history. Thankfully to surviving ancient civilizations and belief systems like India, like the Hindus, who have spoken about this time and time again. Many of their ancient temples have depictions, pictographs of alien interaction, spacefaring peoples, humans interacting with them. There's evidence of nuclear warfare in ancient Civ in the Middle East. There's lots of different paintings from all, the God, from the mid what's that? God, I can't think of it.
Okay, let me cut you off again.
Oh,
and
go ahead.
I can't tell if this guy is fucking trolling or not. Congressmen and women talking about aliens seems pretty crazy, right?
Yeah. No, I mean,
I don't.
but for them to admit it, yeah. For them to finally start talking about it, to me, is crazy.
I think that there has been a mandate placed upon humanity, whereas disclosure needs to be made a fucking public topic of discussion. Okay. And if you're blah, blah, if you're serious and you're not just a fucking troll account, I think that this is the exact nature that the means of discussion needs to go down. Okay. If you're asking me whether or not, you're asking somebody who has participated in. If you're asking Stephen Walton whether or not, you're asking somebody who's speculating. If you are ready to fucking embrace the truth, then ask an intelligent question, because I'm tired of this. All right. Anyway.
Oh my God, what is with your fifis, Coil?
Dude, I'm about on the edge with this guy. If this guy has
Why?
because he is almost asking the right question, but he is almost not. You get it?
No,
You get it?
I don't.
Like he is like the edge of the entertainment that I want to capture. But like if he's not about it and he's just being a fucking joke, then go somewhere else.
This is not how you get subscribers, Coil.
I guess not.
The fuck
That's
is
why I
wrong?
only have 500. Because I'm
You've
just
got-
an
you've-
asshole.
Look, I think I think you're on point about like the speculation, because I've not had interaction with anything like that in my life, but I am a strong believer in the the fact there's validity in the ancient texts, and they all talk
Okay.
about
So he only said he asked because blah blah blah. Okay, ask a smart question. I am open. Okay. All right.
dude, ask him about his affairs with alien despots. All right.
Well,
So
maybe.
No, well, you look at like the ancient Hindus, God, they with the Aztecs. I think there's a fair amount of evidence in the ruins
So
of
you're
the
talking
Central
about
Americans.
the Vedas. You're talking about
Yeah, the Epic of Gilgamesh. The Anunnaki. I think there's enough stories about the sky people, Native Americans. No, about the star people, sky people, and their interactions with us that I think were taken literally as gods when they were not gods. They were extraterrestrials.
True.
And that they helped to shape at certain points humanity. But when it comes to today's day and age, like you were talking about that the mandate and so forth, I think that there's a desperate need for the current world powers, and by world I mean like the Illuminati types, the top 13 families, to maintain control over the illusion, over our matrix, versus their inability to control when certain civilizations may decide that we have advanced enough and become openly active in the affairs of, or at least, bring themselves into, God, how much more open do you need to be? Like, how many times are UFOs fucking caught on camera? Like, how many,
yeah. I think
like they're here, bro.
The point you're trying to make is that allowed to be, and that's a very strong point in my fucking personal philosophy, especially since like 1957, where in World War II, our fighters were regularly followed by things called Foo Fighters, which became, a band, obviously, but it was one of those things, like we were being observed as interestingly as we were observing. And it turned into one of those things where, contact was reinitiated. We had it from the beginning, from the Bible, that our, women were hot and blah, 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 and beings from the skies came down. And
Who doesn't want to bang an earth bitch?
yeah, well, who wouldn't, dude? I banged like mostly earth bitches.
You have also banged extraterrestrials.
That's what I'm going on the record as stating. So it's one of those things, man. Earth at this time, at this place, is incredibly interesting to all eyes of the universe. And what we do here and now are going to shape the entirety of the rest of existence. That's how powerful our fucking magnitude is. And if you doubt that, please don't turn into Gender Check tomorrow at 9:30.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Are you out of steam? I think you're out of steam, Coil.
Well, fuck off. How are we doing?
I'm doing pretty well. I changed my
I had
avatar because we were
Yeah.
talking about fucking alien bitches. And I would just like to put it out there, if there are any alien cucks out there that would like me to bang their bitch, I am down.
You're like, I'm open.
I'm open again. I'm ready to engage. I had a very successful venture last week, and I am now ready and working and willing to have sex with your intergalactic wives. So bring it, bitch. Bring it.
All right, Walden. Well, tell these motherfuckers where they can find you. Let's wind it down.
Absolutely. Let's see. You can find me over on my main channel, Author Stephen Walton, where I'm currently putting out videos as much as I can. There will be cranking them back out once I get a studio up and running, once I find a new place with my boys. Can't wait for that. But you can find me for a Rogue Entertainment every week at 7 p.m. on Saturdays Eastern Standard Time, where I host some of the craziest fuckers and some of the realest people that I have found on YouTube, at least in our little indie sphere or a little section of it, over the last 5 years. And I'm happy to say that show's still running and will continue to run for as long as we choose to do so. You can also find me on Wednesdays at Sporking News Podcast, where I help to run the Mad Dump along with Tina Bojan and Mad Barber Entertainment, Slender Dad. And sometimes you will see me on Scott's Saturday night show after Rogue Entertainment on Sporking News Podcast, where you will find myself and Tina and the other guys, Scotty when he shows up, and Itzepukulian is going to be making some appearances over there, which is really cool. So make sure to support your independent creators, support those projects that you like. Fuck what anybody else says. If you enjoy a creator, you enjoy their content, you enjoy their books or comics, whatever it is they're creating, please support them, because you don't know how much a share means to them. And as always, I'm author Stephen Walton, the Fandom Menace historian. And whether you like it or not, you're a historian, born in the chats with my brothers and sisters fighting for our modern mythologies. Wash your hands, wash your ass, be good to each other, yet suffer no fools. Peace.